Okay. Let me go ahead and do all this. First of all, thank you for your patience. Second week in a row, I've had some technical difficulties, but that's okay. Welcome to the Medicare Cafe. I am home today. Mid Missouri area. I mean, there was a bit on the dramatic side. But we had a good amount of rain, or not rain, snow, and so I am home. I'm also home with my 3-year-old toddler. So it is very possible that he is going to feel that I am live and on camera, and he's going to take that as his opportunity to sing to us the song of his people, which is "Mommy, I Need Something." So welcome to Medicare Cafe again at home. Today is just a really ask me anything. Our team's been getting a ton of questions about OEP. They've been getting a ton of questions about marketing ideas. They've been getting a ton of questions about like, when am I going to get my commissions? So feel free again, because I'm not in the studio, I don't have my handy dandy text bar here. So I'm bringing her back, y'all. This is my text line. Feel free to text me. That is my number regardless of when you use it. You can text me or call me at any time. But this is a great opportunity for you to ask me some of those questions, or get some answers, or you can get some feedback from some other agents to figure out like what's going on in the industry. What are you guys hearing about this? Or like, hey, I've always wanted to know blank. So before, I know we have some texts coming in. Of course, you can use the text or you can use the live chat feature. Right, mine's right there. I don't know where it is for you guys, but my chat is right there. So feel free to use that. I will read them and answer them as I go. But today it's going to be relatively short, Medicare Cafe, because like, who wants to listen to me for the next 30 minutes? Not even I want to do that. So, but again, if you were coming here because you're excited to hear from Cigna, Medicare Advantage, Cigna PDP, we're really excited to have Scooty Tarek on today. But due to the weather, it just wasn't safe and wasn't great conditions for him to come in. So that is being rescheduled, likely for the 23rd. So if you're interested in that, hang tight. That is going to be here, just not today. Be the 23rd. Today you're stuck with me. Yay. Go ahead and start again here. Text me. So funny story. If you're familiar with Medicare Cafe, anytime I do a home episode, this I use every single time. So funny. I just came home from a business trip. I had a bunch of like my papers and all the things, my business cards laid across my office desk. And my husband comes home and he's doing stuff because we share an office. So he's working in here and he sees this postcard. And I had just come home from a business trip and he's like, do you want to tell me who this is? What's going on? And it was like hilarious. I was like, no, this is just my less than high quality way of having people talk to me while I do Medicare Cafe. I got some texts coming in. So one of the questions I'm getting asked is, what is the difference when it comes to OEP between OEP education and OEP marketing? Really great question. We know that during OEP or during any time of year, you cannot advertise the Medicare Advantage OEP period, which goes from January 1st to March 31st. You can't advertise it. The big difference between education and marketing is going to be twofold. Number one, intent. If you are talking to individuals with the intent of using OEP to change plans, that's going to be considered not compliant. So saying things like, you still have time to switch plans, you still have time to switch companies, call me for an appointment. Your intent is obviously to use OEP to switch those individuals. So that's one big difference. If you're saying things like, did you know that between January 1st and March 31st, you have a chance to try out your plan? And if you don't like it, there may be some options to help you. During January 1st through March 31st is the open enrollment period designed for those individuals to make one more change during open enrollment period. Call if you have any questions. Very different intent there. You're educating them versus saying, and a lot of that comes down to the call to action. If your call to action is call me to change plans, call me for an appointment, that's marketing. If your call to action is, hey, let me know if you have any questions, or if you're not happy with the current plan you're on, again, there's some gray area there, but I can easily make an argument that that is for sure education. The second thing that people look at when it comes to marketing versus education is your audience. If your audience are people who do not have any policies with you, they in your what I call prospects, they're people, they're leads, they're prospects, they're people that don't know you from Adam. If you're talking to them and truly prospecting, and you're talking about OEP, that's a no-no. You can't do that. But if you are talking to your current clients and saying like, hey, understand that if you are unhappy, if the provider ended up not being a network, if you're not happy with how you're, with the prescriptions and how that's working with your Medicare Advantage plan, we can still make some adjustments there. That's a big issue, or excuse me, big difference. So not having any product with you, you're kind of stepping into marketing territory. If they have a product with you, that's going to be more education based. So hopefully that's clear as mud. It's all gray area. When it comes down to compliance is all about intent. And so if you have a good intent, I was joking with Carrie last week, she's not going to CMS jail and sitting next to a guy that did arson or something like that. Like it's all about intent. But just making sure that you're communicating with us. And if you do have questions about like, is this marketing or is this education, then feel free to reach out to senior marketing specialists. We are happy to look over any and all of that to make sure like you're receiving help, that you're getting that care. Yep, I got some people saying, are we having Medicare Cafe? Yep, sorry again, that's my fault. Well, it's not my fault, it's technology's fault. Actually, if we're really gonna point the finger at anything, well, UPS is at my house. Everybody say hello to UPS. Not important, focus. If we're gonna point like whose fault is this, then it's actually Mother Nature's for not allowing me to go into the office today. A question here. I have a prospect. You guys might hear my dog. I have a German short-haired pointer, and you might hear him go crazy in a second. But like, let's pretend it's 2020 again. We're all working from home. We're all being very patient with me. I have a prospect who hasn't worked in the U.S. ever. He now lives in Florida and he's 70. Can he get health insurance? Lee share. Lee, the issue with that is going to be because he hasn't worked in the U.S., he hasn't paid into Social Security, he doesn't have 10 years, then it's likely that, of course, we know he wouldn't get premium-free Part A because that's like $500. So he could get most likely get health insurance depending on like, is he a resident here? Is he, what's his status, things like that. He is likely to be able to get health insurance. It's just likely that it's not going to be Medicare health insurance. There are other products that he might be able to get, like short-term medical. I know NatGen, now Allstate, had a really awesome, like they call it kind of like that gap coverage where it's like you don't get Medicare, but you're kind of too old to be on the ACA. They have a really great option. I don't know 100% what states that they're in. But again, if you're asking about health insurance, it's likely he can get an individual plan. It's not likely he's going to get on Medicare. Okay. Thank you, Terry. Oh, yeah. Terry says I'm doing well. I just appreciate all the words of affirmation because, my husband is working today, so it's literally me, my toddler, and my dog, and we're just doing our best. So I appreciate you, Terry. Do you know when we'll know more about that stupid rule involving FMOs? Thank you. I've gotten this question a few times, so I thank you guys. First of all, I just want to say that I am so appreciative of the support that our agents and agents across the United States are sending and saying that like they don't agree with these proposed rules. Sometimes, I'll just be honest, you kind of read these, you read all these Facebook groups and you read these comments, and I feel like everybody say hi to my UPS man. Hello. Okay, everybody. So you hear these comments, you hear these things, and it's like, people really do, in some times, have really negative relationships with their FMOs. So when this rule came out that FMOs are basically for, all intents and purposes going to get taken out of this selling and buying process, I was nervous. Like, what kind of support can we drum up? And I have to say, the support that you guys have been doing and, recognizing the role that FMOs, that good uplines, recognizing the role that they play in your process, in your business, in the selling process has been fantastic to see. So I want to say that Integrity was really excited. So I've talked about it before, the Americans for Beneficiary Choice. They are the huge conglomerate coalition made up of, Integrity, SMS, Senior Market Sales, the AmeriLife Group, all these big competitors. We all got together and said, like, None of us are doing this wrong. We all understand we do it different. Sure, we're competitors. We'll give you a couple jabs here and there, but none of us are doing this incorrectly. So they got together and formed the Coalition of Americans for Beneficiaries Choice. They signed and submitted their letter for comment. That was January 5th. So last Friday was the last day that they were able to submit comment on the new rules and regulation that would essentially eliminate FMOs from the space. And I'm really proud to say that they had a goal of a certain amount of signatures. I don't know what that goal was, but I do know that they did hit that goal. So we have a tremendous amount of support from everybody. Hundreds and thousands of letters were sent to Congress, to legislation. So the update is that even though comment has ended, the work is certainly not done for us. This work is certainly not done for the ADC. They're going to be continuing to keep an eye on that, working with the legislation, submitting more letters, even though era for comment is over. We just need to make sure that our responsibility as an FMO is continuing to show the value that we provide, of course, to our agents, but the value that we provide to the end beneficiary as well. So our work isn't done. We'll continue to keep pushing. We'll continue to keep using, but I can't say enough how incredible it was. I didn't know what kind of support we were going to get, because you just, tend to the negative people tend to be the loudest, and I was just completely overwhelmed. So thank you guys so much. Linda, she says, good morning, Olivia. I did vote, hoping got the chance to do the same. Yes, we had so much support. Thank you guys so much. Another question, can I post on my personal Facebook page? Thank you. So there were kind of two schools of thought between marketing with your personal Facebook page and marketing with your business page. Number one, and something that I will not bow to, I will not stray away from, is that you need to have a business Facebook page. You have to have a business Facebook page, because your personal, if I'm Olivia Richardson, my Facebook name is Olivia A. Hearn Richardson. If somebody tries to refer me, Facebook, the algorithm of Facebook you can tag me, but it doesn't bring up my name. It doesn't request you to rate me as a person. You can't leave me reviews. It really hinders. If you're marketing yourself from your personal Facebook page only, it really cuts off 90% of what power social media has in this space. It means that you won't be able to run advertisements. You can't do boosted posts. You can't read analytics. It really hinders you. So I will always say that you have to have a business Facebook page. Now, should you market or advertise your business on your personal page? I think it depends. There's never a blanket answer. My personal opinion is absolutely. You should be sharing your content from there. You should be pointing people there. You should be asking people to like and interact with your stuff. You should absolutely do that. But you have to make sure that you are going to be proud and okay of your personal Facebook page too. And we always say, when it comes to social media and marketing, politics, religion, and several other things should never be on your Facebook page, because those are really dividing conversations. And so you don't want to, basically, I hate to use this terminology, but you don't want to give anybody a reason to cancel you or to be upset with what you're posting and your social media. And so if you want to be extra protected, maybe you have some friends, maybe you're not even that way. Maybe you are an ELE, everyone love everyone, but you may have friends or something that would tag you in some posts that may lead others to believe that. If you just want to avoid that completely, then I would keep them separately. So great question. Just making sure that you're not, again, if it were me, I would work really hard to share the content. But I've done everything but deeply threaten my friends and loved ones that if they post anything unfavorable about me, towards me, with me, that they would suffer some pretty intense consequences, which, I don't know what that is. No one's called my bluff yet, but yeah, I've threatened, we'll say. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate what you're doing. I said this was going to be a quick cafe, but I'm still getting some more questions. One of the questions, how How much of an uptick is there during OEP? I don't see that I write too much, but I'm wondering if I am in the minority. Great question, right? Because like this is what my clients do. This is what I do during OEP, but what's the industry doing? OEP has pretty much fluctuated year to year. I will say we're seeing less usage of OEP from years past to now. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, people are more satisfied and trending up that they're more satisfied with the plan that they enrolled in. In 2020, we saw the amount of people who were extremely dissatisfied with their Medicare Advantage plan was pretty high. I think there's a lot of reasons you can point to that. The rise of call centers, the rise of popularity in Medicare Advantage, people being more significant spike of people using OEP during that time. Here and there, we'll see pockets of areas where people are unhappy with their plan. It's typically because a provider, a significant provider, left the market or something wonky happened with their medications. So we see pockets of opportunity with that. This year, it's too soon to tell. We are 9 days into it. It's too soon to tell. I'm not hearing a lot of chatter about OEP, though. I'm hearing a lot more conversation surrounding the disaster special election periods. It's pretty recent. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. It's pretty recent that CMS has started issuing more and more these disaster-related SEPs, saying that oh, you had a drought. You probably weren't able to sign up for Medicare because of this drought. That's one going on in Missouri. So why don't, so you have an SEP through the end of March to sign up for a Medicare Advantage plan if you weren't able to sign up for it because you were experiencing a drought at this time. There's flash floods, bad warnings, severe snow. I mean, we actually have, if you're interested, call our office, we'll send it to you, but we have a full spreadsheet of every single special disaster SEP and what areas they affect, because they have gotten to the point where it's requiring a spreadsheet to track them. So I think a lot more people are using those SEPs, and because they're kind of wanting to stay away from the OEPs. Just remember, guys, that if you enroll somebody in a plan and January 1st is the effective date, if they disenroll from that plan within 3 months, that is considered a rapid disenrollment, which is technically a CMS concern. I'm not going to say violation, but it is a concern. A handful of clients, because you're doing your due diligence, they don't like the plan, you move the plan. A handful of clients, no one's going to throw up any red flags. But if you're seeing a majority of the book of business that you wrote on a company leaving that within the first 3 months of it being active, then you're going to probably get some calls and have some things to answer for. So yes, there is a lot of opportunity in OEP and SEP disaster, but just making sure that we're being smart about that opportunity and not trying to skirt anything. Get ready to wrap up. I don't see any more texts. If you have any last minute burning questions, again, here is my handy dandy call me badge. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, threats, and or promises, again, my husband, I'm going to leave this here. I'm just going to leave it out and see if he says anything. That was the funniest thing ever. Again, appreciate you all so very much. Appreciate you all hanging out with me today on this snow day. I know my kids in the other room. Hey, Kadeen. Kadeen, do you want to come say hi to people? You want to come say hi to people? Come here. He's going to be so confused because all day I've been telling him, hey, mommy's working. You got to stay out of here. Go watch your Paw Patrol. Go watch this. And now I'm telling him to come here. So Mom of the Year award. Come here. You want to come say hi to the peoples? Up. Here is Hater is my column. Can you say hi to everybody? Hi. Can you get that thumb out your mouth? Can you say thank you for watching the cafe? Good job. Can you say thank you for partnering with Senior Marketing Specialist? No. I think so. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you do have any questions, obviously call us at 1-800-689-2800. Again, you can also text me at any time. That is my phone number. So feel free to call me, text me, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Thank you for your support. We have some really cool and exciting things going on for 2024 in the new year. Some cool things planned. Some revamping of the cafe as well. Well, this is just getting annoying now. Some revamping of the cafe. So looking forward to we're looking forward to bringing you some great content in 2024. All right, guys. So until next time, you guys have fun. Can you say give impeccable service?
Fun.
Have fun, make money, and give impeccable service. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks.